I spend most of my working life in front of a screen, not because I love screens, but because that's simply where work happens now. Writing, editing, researching, answering emails, switching between tabs, sometimes for an entire day without really noticing how much time has passed. At some point, the screen stops being just a tool. It becomes the environment your eyes live in. And when that happens, you stop caring about specs that look good on paper. You start caring about comfort, about stability, about how your eyes feel in the evening. If you work on a Mac, this sensitivity grows even faster. Retina displays train your eyes very well. They show you how text is supposed to look, how spacing should feel, how calm an interface can be. And once your eyes get used to that, it's hard to ignore when something is not quite right. That's why 27-inch 4K monitors have always felt like a compromise to me. They're not bad. They work. You can get your job done. But every time I switch back to a MacBook display, I immediately feel the difference. Text feels calmer. Lines feel more stable. My eyes relax without me even thinking about it. That difference sounds small, but over weeks and months of daily work, it adds up. This is why 5K still matters. Not because the number sounds impressive, but because at 27 inches, 5K finally gives macOS the pixel density it was designed for. And that's where the KTC H27P3 comes in. The monitor comes in a pretty big box, and that's a good thing. When you see a box like this, you already feel a bit calmer about what's inside. Once you open it, everything is packed really well. Thick foam, everything locked in place. Nothing moves, nothing rattles. This monitor clearly didn't come here by accident. First, you see the stand. It's the part that sits on your desk. It's solid and has some real weight to it. Not decorative, not plastic looking. The base already comes assembled, so you don't need to put anything together. It's a simple metal design with a round base. No gaming vibes, no strange shapes, just a clean, solid base that keeps the monitor stable on the desk. All the cables and accessories are packed separately. You get a DisplayPort cable, a USB-C cable, the power cable, the paperwork, and a warranty card. Everything you need is already in the box. No surprise shopping list later. Only after that do you take out the monitor itself. It's well protected and wrapped nicely, so there's no stressful moment here. For a 27-inch screen, it feels lighter than you expect, but still solid. And finally, at the very end, there's the power adapter. It's compact, not a giant brick. You plug it in once, hide it under the desk, and forget it exists, which is exactly what a power adapter should do. Now let's put everything together. I start with the stand. On the bottom, there are small rubber feet. They keep the stand from sliding on the desk and help it stay stable. First, I attach the stand to the monitor. You line it up, slide it in, and it clicks into place. No tools, no force, no stress. Next, I tighten the screws to secure everything. Just a few turns, make sure it feels solid, and that's it. After that, I simply place the monitor down. It feels stable right away. Nothing wobbles, nothing shifts, and that's it. The monitor is assembled and ready to be connected. Visually, it looks really clean and well balanced. No aggressive shapes, no gaming design, nothing distracting. With a 27-inch screen, it has a good presence without feeling oversized or overwhelming. The monitor feels solid without being heavy or bulky. Once it's in position, it feels stable and confident. It fits naturally into a work setup and works especially well with Apple devices. Once it's in place, you stop noticing the monitor itself and just focus on what's on the screen, which is exactly what you want from a work display. Around the back, the port selection is simple and practical. USB-C, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, two USB-A ports, and an audio jack. Nothing exotic and nothing missing. First, I connect the monitor to power. For full 5K, this monitor needs USB-C or DisplayPort. That's how you connect it to a Mac. HDMI is mostly here for compatibility, good for 4K, but not the main hero today. In my case, I use USB-C. One cable unlocks full 5K on a 27-inch screen and also carries data and power up to 65 watts. The MacBook charges, the display turns on, and my desk stays clean. This kind of setup changes how my desk feels. I stop thinking about chargers and cable management. I open my laptop, plug in one cable, and I'm ready to work. It sounds simple, but removing small friction points like this makes a real difference. The first time I turn the monitor on, everything looks right immediately. macOS doesn't need any setup. Scaling feels natural, and text looks sharp and stable. Menus, Finder, Safari tabs, code editors, documents, everything feels calm. There's no shimmering, no softness, and no feeling that the system is fighting the display. This is where true 5K resolution really shows its value. At 5120 by 2880 on a 27-inch panel, you get around 217 pixels per inch. macOS expects that density, and when the hardware matches the software, everything feels balanced. You stop thinking about resolution and start focusing on content. In everyday work, this monitor quietly improves almost everything. Email feels easier to read. Browsing feels more relaxed. Documents and spreadsheets feel less crowded, even when there's a lot of information on screen. You can fit more content without shrinking things to the point where they become uncomfortable. That balance between space and readability is where 5K really shines. What you notice over time is not a dramatic wow moment, but a gradual sense of comfort. After a full day of work, your eyes feel less strained. You don't feel the urge to constantly zoom in or adjust brightness. The display just stays comfortable from morning to evening. This isn't something you notice in the first hour. It's something you notice after a week. Let's talk about the menu for a moment. Nobody buys a monitor because of the menu, but everyone suffers if it's bad. We've all used monitors where the menu feels like a fight. You press left, it goes right. You press once, it jumps 3 steps, and 5 minutes later, you decide you'll never open it again. Here, the menu is controlled by a small joystick on the back, and it reacts instantly. No lag, no delay, no guessing. You move the joystick, the menu responds. You move it again, same result. It sounds basic, but if you've used enough monitors, you know how rare this actually is. The menu itself is clean and logical. Brightness, contrast, color settings, input selection, display modes, everything is where you expect it to be. You don't need a manual, you don't need to Google anything. Adjusting brightness feels immediate, switching color modes feels immediate, switching inputs is fast, without long black screens or searching for signal moments. And here, you also find dual mode, one of the more interesting features of this monitor. Switching between 5K at 60 Hz and QHD at 120 Hz is simple and clearly labeled. It's not hidden, it's not buried. You select the mode, confirm it, and the monitor switches how it operates. There's a short black screen during the switch, which is normal. What matters is that the process feels intentional, not clumsy. Overall, the menu feels like it was designed by someone who actually uses the monitor. And honestly, that's all I ask. Color accuracy on the H27P3 feels very well tuned. It covers 100% of sRGB and 99% of DCI-P3, so colors look natural and consistent, very close to what you see on a MacBook display. Colors look accurate and natural, not oversaturated, not artificially punchy, very close to what you see on a MacBook display, which makes switching between screens feel seamless. Brightness goes up to 500 nits, which is more than enough for real-world environments. HDR 400 is supported, but this is not a cinematic HDR monitor. The focus here is consistency, not spectacle. Most of the time, this monitor lives in 5K at 60 Hz. That's where it feels most balanced, and it's clearly the mode it was designed for. But when you want smoother motion, switching to 2560 by 1440 at 120 Hz changes the experience immediately. Scrolling feels lighter, motion feels smoother, casual gaming feels more responsive. This doesn't turn the H27P3 into a gaming monitor. It simply gives you flexibility, and flexibility is always useful. Hardware low blue light, flicker-free backlight, and an anti-glare coating. These aren't features you show off, but they matter. They matter late at night. They matter during long editing sessions. They matter after hours of staring at text. This is the kind of monitor you judge over weeks, not minutes. And now, here are 5 reasons why this is a really great monitor. First reason, true 5K Retina clarity on a 27-inch screen. You get the exact pixel density macOS is designed for, which makes text calm, sharp, and effortless to read. Second reason, a clean one-cable USB-C setup. One cable for video, data, and power, up to 65 watts. Your desk stays clean and your workflow stays simple. Third reason, dual mode flexibility. Full 5K at 60 Hz for work, or QHD at 120 Hz when you want smoother motion or casual gaming. Fourth reason, color accuracy you don't have to think about. Colors are consistent, natural, and very close to a MacBook display. Fifth reason, it works as a studio display alternative focused on real usability, not luxury positioning. It gives you the experience that actually matters for daily work. If you've been using a 27-inch 4K monitor and always felt something was missing, this is what 5K fixes. It's not dramatic, it's subtle. But once you feel it, it's very hard to go back. If you want to check full specifications or current pricing, you'll find the links in the description below. Subscribe to Tech in Black, leave a like if this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.